find the dossier a good breakfast read this morning?
I guess it's not that secret anymore. Nothing really new. And I haven't really read it myself. I've heard a few lines, but I guess the things I've heard is nothing that we didn't expect. All of us have played enough against Australia, and we know what it's going to take to be, victorious here. And we've certainly prepared that way, And I think our preparation has been really clinical and good and intelligent. So, we're all looking forward to starting tomorrow.
Presumably you would have the same information about the Australian team as well. You operate in the same way.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we try to keep it in the guys' heads as much as possible, so dossiers aren't left lying around. And, at the end of the day, we've played against each other enough. I mean, our test team has been together for a period of time now, so there's a lot of footage out on us and a lot of information. And it's always the same with every series, really.
Graeme, do you? The Australians have played silly buggers with South Africa before in this kind of way. Do you believe that dossier or what's in the papers is actually the Australian tactics or people like us sucking our thumbs?
I don't know. I mean, to us, it doesn't really make a difference, to be honest with you. I think we all certainly know in our minds when we're preparing. We prepare a certain way. We prepare for what we're going to expect over the next few days. Whether you're a batter, you're a bowler, we're tactically preparing in the nets and doing our work anyway. So I don't think it really has made a big difference to us, really. As I said to you guys 10 days ago, the most important thing was us maximising our preparation, and I think we've done that well. And we're looking forward to starting tomorrow. The last 3 days kind of, felt like let's get going. So I think we hopefully can put that into play in the next 5 days and execute well.
Hello, Michael Clarke and Ricky Ponting have both stressed in the last couple of days that there's no doubt there's going to be short balls to the top order. They keep saying it. Not unexpected, I suppose, but they're really trying to make a point. Do you think that's a ploy as well?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's always when you've got fast bowlers on either side, it's always going to be a topic of discussion. When you come to places like the Wanderers or the Gabba, it's going to be a topic of discussion. But I think the thing is, it's nothing new really for us in particular. We've had these preparations, we've come through these things before, and again, it's just been about preparing and making sure we're ready for what happens out in the next 5 days, and hopefully we can play well and match up to the way that we've prepared. I guess that's the challenge. But in terms of all that stuff, it's neither here or there. It's all going to start tomorrow, isn't it?
Would you be disappointed if you got out LBW? Put it that way.
Well, it won't be the first time and probably not the last time either.
Graeme, Rob Quiney is perhaps someone that you don't have as much information on. Do you think the relatively unproven Australian top order is an area that your attack can get at a bit?
Obviously, the goal is to have our bowlers, expose the top order as much as possible. Everyone wants to have a team 3 down as quickly as possible and really give yourself the best opportunity to bowl people out. That inexperience and, all the stuff that's been going on is hopefully something that we can exploit. That'll be nice, because then we will have Australia under pressure. We've done our preparation. We've had a look at them, and a few of us know Bob through the IPL and got a little bit of a look on them the other day, even though the wicket will be very different here. We've done some planning, and hopefully our bowlers, have proven they've got the skill to execute that stuff. Hopefully that'll happen again in the next 5 days.
Graeme, you've got a very settled side. 3 quicks with your all-rounder and your spinner. The Australians have delayed naming their team. Michael Clarke is a bat-first spinner man, but having a look at the pitch, they're obviously thinking the possibility of 4 quicks. Is your side set in stone?
I would say that we're pretty much the same. We've backed our spinner a lot throughout the last few years, which has given us a good amount of success and balance in our team. And I see he's mowing the pitch again now, so need to have a look at it. And one of the reasons we picked all-rounder was to have that option available to us. For being a November series, no one really knew how things were going to play. So we will have a look again. We're not announcing our team, but we're pretty sure which way we'll go.
It's unlikely that you'd play 4 fast bowlers, even if it was Green. Would you bowl first?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, those are things that we'll clarify tonight before a team meeting.
Graeme, do you sort of really enjoy the sort of cut and thrust of an Australian tour? I mean, even probably reading some of that stuff this morning, like you sort of seem to almost really thrive on a contest. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think in 05 I got taught some good lessons, and it was nice to bounce back from that. Not only as an individual, but as a team. I think to come to Australia with a formidable side and know that you can compete over here and in the cut and thrust, as you say, of playing and performing over here is a nice feeling to have. Certainly the stuff that happens in the papers and maybe things Mickey have said have only added motivation to us. I think that is certainly something that's really touched the motivation springs for us even more.
One of the things that was talked about in that game plan was bringing your quicks back for third and fourth spell, or second, third and fourth spells. There seems to be a bit of belief in the Australian side that some of your quicks, Stone excluded, but your other quicks are good with the new ball, but perhaps not so good coming back. I
don't know so much. I mean, we've played a lot of Test cricket together, and we haven't always bowled teams out for 100 or 150. I think England at the Oval is a perfect example. What were they, 260 for 3 day one? We came back day two and managed to contribute. I think we've been equally good in conditions all around the world. I think you don't travel from 2006 and be unbeaten away from home if you don't have the capabilities to adapt, to think on your feet, and if you don't have the skill to do different things. And I think our guys have certainly proven that. It'd be awesome if they don't have to come back for spell 3 and 4, because then we're ahead of the game, and then that's the goal.
Graeme, what about AB de Villiers? Do you think he'll be a long-term keeping option for you, or are you concerned that it could sort of blunt his batting ability, in these sort of cramped series?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the moment, because it's fairly new, it's always going to be judged quite closely. I know AB himself is very motivated. I certainly have watched him prepare for the series, and he's looked very focused and hungry to do well. So that's very exciting from my perspective. If his batting clicks for us, it'll be a really good thing. And I think his keeping skills are underestimated. He got the gloves at the last minute in England, which is a very tough place to keep. And he did a very good job for us, a very solid job, So it's hard to say what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 months, but at the moment it's definitely for the next 5 weeks or 4 weeks. It's there's no different in our minds.
Graeme, one of the sort of key themes of the dossier was mind games, and Hashim Amla's name was mentioned, and South Africa proved in England that perhaps the overcoming of pressure is something that's now been achieved. Do you think that from a mental perspective that growth has stayed with you and that you're able to overcome those type of pressure moments in key situations that you've always spoken about?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Test side has proven that, when you play in other people's backyards, crowds, there's a different sort of pressure, and you need to be able to handle different things that come your way. And I think we've certainly, that's in recent memory in England, we were able to show that. We were able to perform under pressure. We were able to stand up at key times. And I guess when good teams play each other, there's those small margins, and you need to be able to handle those small margins better than the other team if you're going to be victorious. And in England, we were able to do that. And I guess our goal is to do that again, to match up again like we did in 2008, 2009. I don't expect to see us too emotional about things. I think if we can be really focused on and clinical in the next 5 days, then I'll be happy.
Graeme, pardon me, it was almost a year to the day that your team bowled out Australia for 47 on a wicket which should give good assistance to the same attack. Do you feel like it's still maybe a psychological edge that you have over your opponents?
Yeah, we know that because Gary's daughter is turning 1 tomorrow, and she was born on that day. So it's quite easy to remember that. It was obviously a very interesting day's cricket. To have Australia, 21 for 9 or something like that is something that's quite hard to still fathom today. But obviously our goal is to really get into the batting order and hopefully create a lot of pressure. And if we can do that, especially certainly first up, then hopefully we can create a bit of doubt.
Graeme,
Alan Donald has said that this team is capable of dominating world cricket. Is that an aim of you and the players to be a dominant force in world cricket and continue to do that?
I mean, I think we would love the opportunity to create a legacy, but you've got to take steps at a time. You know, you don't get there. And I think everyone in international cricket today, there's been a number of teams that have touched the #1 ranking. And certainly we would love to have that opportunity, but we know this is the next stepping stone for us, and it's a big challenge. So we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. I mean, we believe we've got the capabilities to create that, but you've got to go and earn it and take those steps towards that process. And you know, the next three to 4 weeks is that big challenge for us.
How much of a concern is the unknown here? You haven't played a test match here as a nation for nearly half a century, but you're also on a ground where Australia hasn't been beaten in 24 years. Yeah,
I think the last thing you said hasn't really come into our discussion. I think there's enough information around the conditions here to know what to expect. I mean, I think whoever's watched Test cricket over the last period of time knows the Gabba's got good pace, bounce. You know, overhead conditions play a bigger role maybe than underneath. So we've got information, and I think we're fairly up to date. And it's just as I say, it's going to be our ability to sort of get out there and handle what is put in front of us. And I feel that we've got the players to do that. I feel that we're prepared enough to do that, and hopefully in the next 5 days we can go and show that. I mean, that's ultimately what's ahead of us.
I think everyone loves a quick bowler, and Dale Steyn, we've heard how some of the guys describing the Sydney session where he was the fastest he's been for a couple of years. Can you give us an idea what you think and let him loose on this wicket? Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully Dale getting 10 wickets. I mean, I'm looking forward to Vernon hopefully getting 10 wickets. I mean, the thing is you can bowl the speed a lot, but how effective can you be? And I think that's the key for us here, is we obviously know what's ahead of us in these conditions, but we want to be effective and be able to create as much pressure on Australia as possible. And certainly Dale has proven that he can be both, and hopefully he'll show that in this test match.